else when I walk into the room full of guys, particularly guys who are maybe of a slightly older generation, and when I walk in into my IBM colleague, male colleague, all the questions and conversation will be directed at my male colleague, and I frequently feel ignored and not really even acknowledged.
And then I went to careers office. And I said, I'm really exciting, I want to be a scientist. And then the career service lady or a man would tell me, are you sure? Would you not rather go and study some easier subjects, like, I don't know, arts?
It's about what girls are taught from a very, very young age, about what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to behave, what's for boys and what's for girls. And I think that there's this perception that STEM and digital is for geeky white men. Certainly lots of the young women I've spoken to are kind of like, tech is for boys, it's not for me.
Looking back at my secondary career, I really did think that technology was for guys, because those were the sort of people you would see on television. The scientists were male, and funny enough, I didn't have any exposure to coding, so never really thought that I would end up doing mums in technology and having a coding school for mums. And I thought, why not learn how to code? There was so much talk about coding going on the national curriculum, and all the kids were learning it. My little cousins were learning how to code. I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to have a place where I can go learn to code and bring my baby along? And that's how Mums in Technology came about.
From a role model perspective, yes. I mean, there is a shortage of women in technology. But I think it's not necessarily, the focus is on a shortage. My interest is on why is there a shortage? Because if we sort of look at why there is a shortage, then we can address through process and understanding how to increase the number of women in technology.
I said, wouldn't it be great if we had like a group of girls that can do this hacking thing? Okay. Where are the girls? So, it's like I went out of the office, it was like late, it was already 7 or 8 or something, went out. Next door, it was the vision group, all guys. I was like, okay, where are these girls? So I was thinking, okay, this is an interesting challenge. There's got to be some PhD women in the department, but just where are they?
It kind of came as a bit of a sort of sudden realization, I think, in the public sector, that everything was changing, that the way our economy works is changing in ways that we can't really keep a grip on. So everything's becoming way more digital, it's all being disrupted, and it happens at such a quick pace, you can't really see you can't kind of keep a handle on it. And it then became quite apparent that the people who were driving technological change were, for the most part, white men. So therefore it's being made and created with one specific viewpoint. So that's not going to benefit a diverse society like what we have in London and like what we have in other cities across the UK. So it was really important that we started to do something here. Notice is that there are other regions and cities in the UK now who are starting to do a lot of work on this as well. So it's become really important, really big on the agenda. I've also engaged with lots of other countries and international cities who want to get more girls engaged in STEM and want to know what's happening in London and share information. So that's always really interesting to see how different countries approach it.
I think in terms of policy and in terms of making it easier for both groups, male and females, to cohabit within sort of the workforce, in sort of a technology sort of environment. What would be sort of really helpful would be to make sure that the two groups understood the framework in which they sit. Mm-hmm. What do we have in common? And focus on that.
I think that the biggest thing that we can do, and perhaps what this documentary is trying to achieve, it's to build the awareness. We are very lucky here in the UK and very lucky back home in Poland that we know that the issue is there and we're acting on that. But perhaps other countries are not. And I firmly believe that we need to shout about the issues from the rooftops.
Something as simple as having computers. You may have one, but you may not be able to use it if there's no power. So it's a hard one. I think this is where the government comes into play, you know, making resources available, whether it be free computer centres where women can access. But we definitely need that sort of funding to be made available.
So I think for all girls, no matter where they're from and where they live, they'll always have people in their lives who will influence them and will be telling them what they should or shouldn't be doing, how they should be behaving, what they should do with their lives. I think it's really important for girls to think about what they actually want and what drives and inspires them, and to try and make decisions based on that, on their kind of gut instinct, because that's how you're an authentic self. And that will help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. It can be really difficult, and quite often people will try to stop you from doing things because it's not what they want for you. But as long as you know it's right, that's the most important thing, and it will help you, go as far as you want to.